Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us. Please don't forget to love and like what we're doing. Yeah, Adeleke, thanks so much for joining us. And that's audio escaped my mind. I was live when I got the audio, so I apologize for that. Thanks so much for your commitment and as well as all this. And then kindly remind people to love and like because the Igbo are massively on our case again because the campaign trail is getting and then we're getting information that the Young Yoruba are waking up. And this morning, a lot of my campaign trail video were flagged on Facebook, so they removed two. So I have appealed that anyway, so that people can get access to them. So thank you so much. And some of our guys are not yet with us on YouTube. Some of our admin, some of them are not here with us. So as soon as they are here, they will help us to remove a lot of these irresponsible people who are constituting nuisance into what we do. Thanks, guys, for keeping faith over this. You see, one thing is very important. The Igbo and the Hausa Fulani went to civil war. They were best of friends. They formed a coalition government in 1959, shortly after the election, in which there was no clear winner. Under parliamentary system, where there is no clear winner, two parties or more will have to form a coalition government. So the Igbo and the Fulani formed the first government in Nigeria after the English left. So they were the best of friends. Both of them teamed up together to subjugate the Yoruba nation. But because they had a disagreement, Tafawa Balewa was expected to hand over to Zik in 1964. He refused. The Igbo plan coup. The Igbo plan coup, rather than for them to attack Fulani, they were actually killing Yoruba. That's why they call us cowards today. Because they kill us, we didn't kill them back. Actually, that is the attribute of a coward. If somebody should kill me, or rather, I'll kill my family, I will take my own blood back. I will take my own part of flesh. And that is the kind of discipline I'm instilling in my own children. And this is what white America puts in the minds of their own children too. If you undermine the interests of America, the white will come after you, the white Americans, they will come after you. The same thing, the English. But we Yoruba, our generation, our parents before us, they were very ridiculous in the sense that people underestimated them, people undermined their development, and they did not revenge. They just ignored these people. So this has given the Igbo the boldness to call us cowards because we do not revenge for their atrocity. So that's why they continue to troop into our space and commit all manners of crime. They troop into our space and to our own face, they tell us we will not vote for you. Yet they are living peacefully in our space. So it is the responsibility of us to deal with them. And we're not going to deal with them, just dealing with them. We are going to treat them the same way the white American treated the Japanese in the United States of America in 1942. The Igbo lost the war. But believe you me, the aftermath of the war shows that it was actually the Yoruba that were defeated. We were actually defeated in that war. The Igbo fought against the Fulani. They were killing us, they killed our leaders. But after the war, what happened? Our port was taken away from us. Our farm settlements were taken away from us. We don't depend on the north for food. Everything that we established in Yorubaland were taken away from us. Our television station, WNTV, they turned it into NTA, the first television station in Africa. We had television, we Yoruba, we had television before France. Today, every Yoruba would like to escape to France, a country that we had television station before. So it was like we, the Yoruba nation, we actually lost the war that we did not fight. We got involved with the war after the Igbo attacked us and we beat them silly. And my generation will now repeat that same defeat of the Igbo in an industrial manner. Massacre, a clear killing of the Igbo across Yorubaland. So if you look at the war critically, we Yoruba were actually defeated. Everything that we hold, Fulani and the Igbo took it away from us. Everything that belongs to us, they took it away from us. So we actually lost the war. And my generation is now here to reverse these defeats. We are not going to accept the continuation of the 36-state system. We're not going to accept the continuation of this unitary system. Lagos is the battleground. Don't let anybody deceive you. Fulani controls Lagos. We, the Yoruba, own Lagos. New York is controlled by white Americans. London is controlled by the English. We, Yoruba, we own Lagos. But Fulani are controlling Lagos politically. And Igbo controls Lagos economically. We are going to take the political power back, and we're going to take the economic power back. So we must shut down Lagos. If we do not destroy Lagos, Fulani will continue to dominate us politically. If we do not destroy Lagos, Igbo will continue to dominate us economically. Igbo and the Fulani were best friends in the early 1960s. These two best friends went into war, what we call the Nigerian Biafra War. The Igbo were defeated, but it was actually the Yoruba that everything that we hold were taken away from us. Name it, anything. Our stock exchange was taken away from us. We name it Lagos Stock Exchange. They changed it to Nigerian Stock Exchange. Our airport was taken away from us. It was Lagos International Airport. They changed it to Muritala Mohammed Airport, and they nationalized it to be for everybody in Nigeria, something that belongs to us. Our television station, WNTV, they took it away from us and changed it to NTA. All our industrial estates, built by the Yoruba money, everything has been taken away from us and nationalized it. The first textile company that was built in Africa was built in Yorubaland by Awolowo. That was sold to Dangote. Dangote is not using it to produce Indomie noodles bag and cement bag. Everything that belongs to us was taken away. So we were actually defeated in that war. My generation will take everything back, but we're going to kill people. We're going to kill Igbo and Fulani. There's no negotiation towards this. They will die. There will be bloodbaths. We will kill them in Yorubaland. Enough is enough. President Trump said, go back to your country and make it great. Only the Igbo people do not wish to go back to their country. They kill them in even Angola, in Ghana, in Togo, in Benin Republic, in South Africa, in Dubai, in Malaysia, in Singapore, in India, across the world. Igbo are being summarily killed because they are criminals. They do not wish to go back to their country and make it great. They want to continue with this unitary system. So we're focusing on keeping Igbo people off Yorubaland. If we do not chase them away from Yorubaland, believe you me, the Yorubaland as you know it today will be destroyed in the next 10 years. Look at what just happened in Ukraine. The presidential candidate that won the presidential election, nobody knows him. He never came out for once to campaign. He staged his campaign via social media, and he won by 75%. We're changing the mind of the young Yoruba, because for so long, history has been taken away from our curriculum. Because of what? The Igbo nationalized everything, including education. Many young Yoruba of my age, even older than I am, they have no clue that we have never had the same ambassador as Igbo and Hausa Fulani. Yoruba, we have our own separate ambassador to UK. We don't have the same ambassador. Under regional government, if any foreigner wishes to come to Yorubaland, you must take Yoruba visa. Under regional government, it was a beautiful system. Now the Igbo suspended that. Today I will talk about Thinkaport. Who built Thinkaport? You see, this criminally minded Igbo, whenever they open their foolish mouth, they will say that federal government developed Lagos. If federal government developed Lagos, who developed Enugu? Who developed Imo State? Who developed Abia State, who developed Anambra State and Ebonyi State. Federal government did not develop Lagos. There is not an inch of Yorubaland that was ever developed by federal government. This criminally minded Igbo, children of hate, that's what they will say. They will say, federal government built Third Mainland Bridge. Oh, federal government built Tinkerport. Oh, federal government do this. Oh, federal government does that. That is what they say. But federal government, since the suspension of regional government in 1966, has been a gang of criminals. They are stealing the Yoruba wealth, as well as the wealth of the people we call South. They are now using our wealth to fund the economic growth and development of the entire North, as well as Igbo land. Federal government is stealing Yoruba wealth. This is what I'm going to expose to you today. And these children of hate, the Igbo, they are criminal. They are the greatest beneficiary of the unitary system. They will never support a return to regional government. They will never, for once, they will rather die, and they will die, and they will be buried in Yoruba land. And we will show our children as the symbol of our determination to take back our space from these criminally minded Igbos. We will kill them. I have the best of authority regards that. They are going to be massacred. It will be massive. You see, everybody, they talk about Rwanda. Oh, Rwanda, they killed themselves. Hey, they killed themselves. Rwanda is practicing regional system of government. Rwanda calls their political system presidential republic. Rwanda has 26 senators who are members of their National Assembly. 26. 12 of the 26 senators are elected from their provincial council, which is the regional government. 12 out of the 26. And they are so conscious of the minority groups in Rwanda, and they gave their president the power to appoint 8 minority ethnic groups as members of their National Assembly. So 12 senates of Rwanda are elected from their regions. They call it provincial council. That's what they call their own regional governments. Do you see any senators in the Nigerian National Assembly representing the Yoruba region? No. So, but that is the system in Rwanda. So, 26 senators, 12 are elected from their provinces, from their regions. 8 appointed by the president, who must be from the minority ethnic groups. And then there are others as well. 4 of the senators are elected by political parties. All the political parties in Rwanda, they have a forum. They will now appoint 4 members from that forum that will go to the Senate. And the entire university staff of Rwanda, they were given 2 slots to appoint 2 people as senators. Rwanda practices regional system of government. Stupid, criminally minded Igbo. They will tell you, ethnic cleansing in Rwanda, it was this. What you are preaching is AIDS. Rwanda practices regional government. Ghana practices regional government. South Africa practices regional government. Kenya practices regional government. Ethiopia practices regional government. You are the only one that is using unitary system. And you think that will go on. That is it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. You know, we had a news yesterday. It's not as if we had a news. We've always known this. But you see, one thing we do as YYF is that we're privileged to have people who have grown to trust us. They trust us with information. Shortly after the presidential election was held, we had very valid information from my former classmate who works within the presidency at Abuja. And he said to me that, look, grandson, you are the only one who can share this information to the public, that they are planning to assassinate Oshibado. And I said, I need fact. I need more evidence. You won't tell me something that does not have the backing of with the fact. So he gave me more facts. He gave me more facts. And part of the more fact that we receive is the intelligence that the English are working strategically to make sure that Atiku is declared president-elect on or before 2021. And he will be sworn in, and so that the Igbo and the Fulani can have a coalition government, that is Atiku and Obi, and they will rule till 2029. The English is so scared that the growing Yoruba nationalism will catch up with everybody in Yorubaland, and Yoruba will go out of Nigeria. And if Yoruba goes out of Nigeria, the English will not be able to control our wealth. Majority of Yoruba don't know that it is the English who are the concessionaire managing your port. The English can only do that when Fulani are in power. Many young Yoruba do not remember that this horrible man called Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, the stupid man who appropriated the kingship of the Hausa people in Kano. He goes by the Emir of Kano. He sold the Lagos Stock Exchange to the London Stock Exchange Group in 2012. You've forgotten about that. The English are the one controlling our stock exchange. The English are in charge of our foreign exchange in Yorubaland. English who do not like us. Because I live in London, you think I do not know facts. So I won't protect the interests of my home nation. I will protect the interests of English because I live in their country. There are more than 27,000 English who are living in Yorubaland. They are not doing me a favor because I live in London. No, they have the absolute power to expel me from their country. We as Yoruba nation, not the federal government. The Yoruba youth, we have absolute power to expel all the 27,000 English in Yorubaland. And if they say they are not going to go, we use force because it is our space. The English are the one controlling our financial and capital market, courtesy of Fulani who are in power. The English are controlling our shipping sector in Yorubaland. The English are the one controlling our crude oil because Fulani gave them the contract so that the English military, MI5, MI6 can support Fulani to continue to suppress and subjugate you. English, they have crude oil in England too. Are we the Yoruba controlling it? It is the strategic interest of the English for Fulani to remain in power. That was why Prince Charles, the first child of the Queen, came to plead with Buhari to allow Atiku to win, so that the Igbo and Fulani can be in power and continue to control the wealth of the Yoruba nation. That was why they sent Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Tibler, or what is his name, who was formerly working with Mobile, who made so much money from our own crude oil in Yorubaland, to compel Buhari to allow Atiku to win. The calculation of the English is that if Atiku wins a Fulani and the Igbo are in coalition, they continue to dominate and control the Yoruba. The English will give them guns to kill you. The English are not our friend. They are not our partner. It is better for us to work with the United States of America. And people keep saying, oh, America and English are close allies. A lie. Tell me the name of one English who has become the president of America since the end of the Civil War in America. Self-interest matters, folks. American businesses, every time. Don't you see the employment records of President Trump? Unemployment is going down. People are in jobs. People who are claiming benefit are now working. So if America should get to invest in Yorubaland to build our infrastructures for us, their people will be employed. When their people will be employed, the president in power will get high rating. Self-interest matter. Don't stop saying that the English and America cannot fight over Yoruba. American interests will be protected if we Yoruba will relate with America. There's nothing stops us from having super special relationship with America. We don't like the English because they hate us. So don't like people who hate you. You hate them back in return. So it is the strategy of the English, with the support of this man you call Buhari, to declare Atiku winner in 2021 at the Supreme Court. So your Atiku will now be sworn in and will be there for 8 years. He and Igbo, they will control everything you own. Madam Ola, I think rough and rugged is a Yoruba man. Please don't remove him. Don't remove him, madam, please. I think he's a Yoruba man. Rough and rugged is a Yoruba man. It's not Igbo. His name might sound funny, but it's not Igbo. See, that is what they're planning. Believe you me, the people that share information with us, they have come to respect the wildlife. We have this. This is what the English are planning for you. And you allow Cadbury to continue to make profit in Yorubaland, idiots. You allow DSK to continue to run their business. You allow Standard Chartered Bank. Go and read Standard Chartered Bank report. 60% of their profit is coming from Yorubaland. 60% of their profit in Africa. You allow Cadbury to be running their show. PricewaterhouseCoopers, English businesses. Can't we deal with America and allow American businesses to come into Yorubaland and make fucking money? When they are making money, their people are employed in their country, they support you. But you allow English who hate you. Don't come and see how English treat Indian in England. Come and see how they treat Yoruba. Yet they are making cool profit from Yorubaland. They don't make profit in India the way they make profit in Yorubaland. Come and see the kind of respect they have for Chinese in England. But Yoruba, we wash their toilets, we drive their fucking buses, do shit job for them, and they have no respect for us. Our women are taking care of their elderly English people. They are disabled people. Why they fund Fulani with military training and weapon to kill our home parents? And Yoruba continue to serve the interests of the English. English who do not like you. That is the game they are planning. They want Atiku to win in 2021 so that Igbo and Fulani will be in power till 2029 and they will kill you. You don't want to kill Igbo now, right? Look at what they did when Jonathan was in power. They monopolize everything. They control finance, they control aviation, they control petroleum, they control CBN, they control the police, they control the military. That is what they are planning. If English gives weapon to Igbo to kill you, Yoruba, Igbo will kill you without blinking an eye. Igbo will kill you. It is better we kill them. It is our space. Go across the world. In Brazil, nationalism is growing. They elected their president based on nationalism. President Trump becomes the president based on nationalism. Everybody is now protecting the interests of their home nation. The Yoruba, we must protect the interests of the Yoruba nation. The Yoruba nationalism is growing. We want to control our wealth. But the English want to continue to suppress and subjugate us. We must not allow their businesses to make profit again in Yorubaland. Guinness is making too much profit. It belongs to the English. We shut them down. We have that power. We must use it. It is our power. So what they are planning for you, including Buhari, don't think that Tinubu doesn't know this. He knows the game. So they want to declare Atiku president in 2021. Buhari will be too old. He will just go retire, enjoy himself. Remember what Shagari said in 1983. Shagari was given security report that Buhari is planning a coup. Shagari said, in as much as the coup is not being planned by Yoruba or Igbo, it's fine because Buhari is Fulani. He said he's not going to remove Buhari. He left Buhari there because one thing, Buhari is Fulani, but you see ridiculous, hopeless Libra, low focus to Yoruba Libra. They want Tinubu dead. They want him dead. Who can safeguard the interests of Yoruba in Nigeria and other than Tinubu? And this is the same man you want him dead. That is what we're doing. So that is their game plan. That is their game plan. The English are telling Buhari that, look, Yaradua era is likely about 3-4 years. If you had 3 to 8 years of Buhari, that would be 11-12 years. And the English are saying to Buhari that, look, the Yoruba will not accept that the power goes back to the north. The Yoruba will want power back in 2023. And if Yoruba gets power, this is what the English are telling the Fulani. If the Yoruba gets power, under the unity system, they control the presidency, they control the National Assembly, they control the judiciary, they control the military, they control the police, they control federal civil service, they control the custom, they control immigration, they control the port, they control waterways, they control prison, they control tax revenue. They reminded Buhari that. So in order not to allow this to leave their hand, they will perpetrate another Fulani there. But the game has changed. The game has changed completely. We don't even like the English. It's the statement of fact. We don't like them because they have hated us because we chased them out of Nigeria and we chased them out of Africa. So they hated us. So they are ruling us indirectly. And we must end that. Because I keep thinking about this myself. The Yoruba who were enslaved in 1851 to 1951, they have all died. The English who enslaved them are no longer on this planet, had majority of them. So why should their children now dominate me? When I'm the children of those who were enslaved. But my own grandparents, our lower generation, they chase away the English. So why must I be subservient to the current generation of English to dominate me? I have lived in England for quite a while. The English cannot fight a single war without NATO. They cannot defeat Gaddafi. English. Their army can never defeat Gaddafi without NATO. They defeated Gaddafi because of NATO. When we talk about NATO, we're talking about the United States of America. Let the whole war be neutral, and the Yoruba nation and England goes to war. We will defeat them. They can't defeat us. People who enslaved the Chinese people, can they go to war with China today? The English cannot. So you need allies. We have the Yoruba in Brazil. We have the Yoruba in Cuba. We have Yoruba in Puerto Rico. We have Yoruba across the Caribbean. We have Yoruba who are in America who are working with President Trump. We need to speak to President Trump and lobby his administration. Simple. I keep reminding us that only three Holy Lands are popular in the world. Jerusalem in Israel, Mecca in Saudi Arabia, Ile-Ife in Yorubaland. Why is it that only the Yoruba people is not thinking about having a super special relationship with the United States? There's so many planning that is going on. And I said to you and I reminded you that Igbo are actually winning the propaganda game. This guy is winning. Nnamdi Kanu is enjoying his life. He came out for one purpose alone, for unity system to be maintained by all means necessary. So yesterday after my campaign trail, a very good friend said to me, "Oh, grandson," he sent me a link of the video of the address made by Nnamdi Kanu on the 20th of April. He said Nnamdi Kanu is making a joke out of Tinubu, saying that Tinubu cannot be president in 2023, that I should listen to that. I regretted listening to that audio. It was on YouTube. While I was listening to it, I was having telephone conversation with her because what he was saying is completely irrelevant. What he was saying is completely nothing. He was talking about the tribunal. He was talking about Wahed certificate. He was shit things. And this is a guy who tweeted. Let me read his tweet for you to see, folks. This is a guy who tweeted. You remember that he tweeted on the 16th of February. Yeah. Let me read his tweet. He tweeted this on the 16th of February. He said, "Having confirmed this evening that all our preconditions and terms have been met, signed, sealed, and delivered, I hereby call off the election boycott across Biafra land on February 16, 2019. I dedicate this historic victory to the formidable IPOP family worldwide." He went on to say that the alleged agreement was signed in the presence of international community. So when I went through his address yesterday on YouTube, the guy was just lamenting. And this is a man who said that his condition has been sealed, signed, and delivered. This is the guy who was supporting Atiku. And they continue to tell you they hate Fulani. You see, this is a propagandist. He said signed, sealed, and delivered. What exactly? In the presence of international community. It has been 2 months that he tweeted this. Yet he continued to rant, talk rubbish. What was signed, sealed, and delivered? Absolutely nothing. They are propagandists. They want to keep the unitary system. So they are actually winning. They are actually winning. All the noise around Biafra is to maintain the unity system. We know the joker. It is Lagos. Shut down Lagos, kill Igbo, they run back to their space. And they shall be killed. There's no contest about that. The entire world knows. If you look at my letter to the Chairman Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, I specifically details the use of chemical and biological weapons. I detail it. The world knows that the Yoruba is being subjugated. And to get back our freedom, we have to kill the Igbo and Fulani. So this nationalism spirit is growing across the world. It was the same reason the English voted for Brexit. They want to control the own country. We Yoruba are warning these irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England that you back off from Yorubaland. You will be the greatest loser. You cannot defeat the Yoruba nation, I assure you. You cannot. We would rather have American businesses, have investment in Yorubaland, make profit. In return, they give us military support. You, the English, shall be shamed. And in Europe, we will trade with Portugal, we will trade with the Scandinavian countries. Our children constantly going to your schools will be advised against going to your school. We are going to deal with you because we've had enough of your hatred of the Yoruba nation. So that is what this guy has been saying, and that is the game that they are planning. IPOP is winning because they want to maintain the unity system. So they shout on top of their voices, wow, 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 we want Biafra, we want Biafra, we want Biafra. They want to claim other people's land. They don't want Biafra. That's why my Ijo friends are complaining to me that, grandson, tell the Yoruba youth that we are not Igbo. And that is the truth. We're going to have a very good relationship with the people of Ijo. Because the people of Ijo now, I know this from my friends, they are broke. They are so broke. These are militants. They get paid when Jonathan was there. I was warning them then. I was warning them. You can't allow Igbo to take over Jonathan government. You're going to lose this. Even I campaigned against Buhari there. But I was telling them in private that, look, it is unfair of what Jonathan did to the Yoruba. How can we make him president and you put Igbo in your government? He lost it. So my friend came back to agree with me. During the presidential election, we actually had a serious argument. They threatened me, I threatened them. I threatened them. They said they are going to attack Ishekiri land. These are facts that young Yoruba should know. They said they are going to attack Ishekiri land. If I attack Igbo, I said we're going to eradicate them. At the end of the day, they came back respecting my opinion. Yes, we're still working together. That's why I keep saying, I have made a statement that if I go to an Ijo person's house, I will hit there. But if I go to a Yoruba house, I won't hit. Because Yoruba don't understand self-preservation. So we're just waking their mind up. We're just waking their mind up. People who do not understand self-preservation, they kill themselves. But white America, they have knowledge of self-preservation, including Fulani, including the English, except the liberal Yoruba who are useless people. They are willing to kill their other Yoruba for the interest of the Igbo or for the interest of the Fulani. That's why they hate Tinubu so much. So you see the game that is going on. They are trying to make Atiku president in 2021. So Buhari just want to. The people that gave us this information said that, look, Buhari's wife is already preparing after 2021. She wants to build a university. And she's going to build the university outside Nigeria, in Qatar or Sudan. These are viable intelligence. You think Tinubu doesn't know this? You think Oshibajo doesn't have knowledge? You think they know? But horrible liberal Yoruba, they are focused on how they can use foreigners to destroy Yorubaland in order for them to make little money, give them little change. They can't see the bigger game. If Tinubu is the president of Nigeria, all this liberal will be well taken care of. They can't see that. We're talking about the power of the unity system. So that is what they are planning to do, folks. They are planning to bring back the coalition of Fulani and the Igbo. But we're going to kill these people beyond their widest imagination. We're going to kill. I can assure you that. Yoruba youth will kill. Like, look at what is going on with YYF. Look at how many times they are trying to bribe me off. But you see, the liberal Yoruba who constantly abuse me, they cannot keep track. We finished our 90 days campaign. We've been doing more than 90 days before the 90 days campaign. We quickly switch on to the next focus. After this campaign about the Igbo, we have more other things that we are going to do. But the liberal who are abusing us, they can't keep up. They are no longer speaking. They cannot even speak up about restructuring that they were using as a gimmick. This is how the Yoruba nation behaves. We take time to kill people. The day we start, we don't stop. That was why I keep saying to the liberal who were using sex as a negotiation. Honorable Kunle Agunbiade, his head was cut off. over election rigging. Say Yoruba person, married to Yoruba people, having Yoruba blood, and Yoruba has killed him off. Over rigging of election. Told you about Omoborio, told you about the wet here, told you about the 16 years war we fought Yoruba. We killed ourselves. How much more getting married to Igbo? We slaughter them like animals when these things going to start. The spark is coming. The spark is coming. They cannot be controlling our wealth. And we are simply saying, for peace, let us go back to that system, the regional government that we all agreed to before independence. It is on this basis that I will quickly talk about three systems or four: parliamentary, republic, unitary, and presidential system. And to those who are saying, oh, Rwanda, Hutu, and Tutsi, they fucking killed themselves for years. The same thing, Ethiopia and Eritrea, they went to war for 21 years. Eritreans were asking Ethiopia, let us use regional government. Ethiopia said no, they will continue with unity system until they fought for 21 years. After that, what happened? The country divided. Immediately the country divided, what happened to Ethiopia? Ethiopia adopted regional system of government. Ethiopia constitution is the best in Africa. I have read that constitution. It's the best in Africa. It gave power for any of the ethnic region in Ethiopia who wishes to leave the country to leave. Rwanda, they have to kill themselves for several months before they adopt a regional system of government. Go and look at their Senate. Everybody is elected from their ethnic group. They represent their ethnic groups, the senators. So when we had independence, I'm going to talk about Think Port, how that port was built. And the children of hate who are criminals, they say federal government built. The federal government did not build that port. It was the Yoruba who built that port. Federal government did not build Third Mainland Bridge. It was the Yoruba that built it. It was our money. Federal government does not just decree money from heaven, go and build port. No, the Igbo are illiterate. That's why they don't know how things get done. Before independence, we, the Yoruba, like I said, we represented the Edo, Urobo, Ika people, Ijo people, Western Ijo, Ishekiri people. We represented them at this constitutional conference. The Igbo represented Efiki Bibiro, Eastern Ijo, Ogoni, and the rest of them. The Hausa Fulani represented Kanuri, Nupe, Junkun, Idoma, and the rest of them. And these three people, we agree to a parliamentary system of government. And what is parliamentary system of government? It's a system of democratic governance of a state where the executive derives its democratic legitimacy from its ability to command the confidence of the legislature, typically a parliament, and is also held accountable to that parliament. What that English is just telling you is that under parliamentary system, you don't have Buhari going throughout Nigeria or Atiku or anybody going throughout Nigeria to contest for election. No, Buhari will contest for election in Daura alone as an MP. Atiku will participate in election in Adamawa as an MP. So the party that has majority MPs will form government. It was not expensive at all. It was very cheap. We don't want something that is expensive. This is what we all agree to. Parliamentary system. Awolowo does not have to campaign throughout Yorubaland to become the leader. He just goes to Ikene and campaign. And he's become a member of parliament. So the party that has the majority MP will form government. That government is accountable to the parliament. That is what parliamentary system of government is. So the Yoruba will do our own things on our own. The Igbo, they do their own things. The Hausa Fulani do their own things. So the party that has majority MP will form government. That is what parliamentary system was. It's, so we were controlling our respective space. But then, the head of states of that parliament was the queen. And the Yoruba said, we cannot accept this. The Yoruba has been very good until recently that we just become very weak. We said, no, we don't want the Queen to be the head of state of Nigeria. She's English. She should remain the head of state of England. She cannot be the head of state of our own country because we're not slaves anymore. The people that were slaves were only slaves for 100 years. So we ended that. We raised the issue. You can go and see the debate. The Hausa Fulani said the English should continue, the Queen should continue to be the head of state. The Igbo said the Queen should continue to be the head of state. We said no. It was put to vote. The Yoruba were able to convince the Edo, Ishekiri, and the minority, and we won. So in 1963, we became a republic because we have removed the Queen as our head of state. She's English. She should go and rule over her own people. I'm not slaves to her. She cannot rule over us. That was the argument the Yoruba presented. So in 1963, we became a republic. Nigeria is not our name. The full name of our country is Federal Republic of Nigeria. We became republic because we removed the white English, who was the head of state, the Queen. We removed that. That makes us republic. What is a republic? A republic is a form of government in which the country is considered a public matter, not the private concern or property of the rulers. The primary positions of power within a republic are not inherited, but are attained through democracy. The Queen was the head of state of Nigeria from 1960 to 1963. She inherited that power. And Awolowo said, no, we cannot allow that to happen. She is the Queen of England. She can be the head of state of England. We must have our own head of state. So we became a republic because Nigeria is no longer the private concern of the English. It is now a public matter for the entire Nigeria because the Yoruba do not want anybody to dominate us. We do not want the English. These are some of the reasons why the English don't like us. And we must not like them too. Believe you me, this is how life is. You don't embrace somebody who doesn't like you. You don't. Look, the English who do not respect us in England, by the time we make Cadbury, we create problem for Cadbury in Yorubaland, we create problem for Guinness, we create problem for PricewaterhouseCoopers, we create problem for British American Tobacco, we make hell for Standard Chartered Bank. The English will start respecting the Yoruba in England. They are making too much profit from our space. They are not doing us a favor. A businessman setting up a site in Yorubaland, you think is doing you a favor? He wants to make profit. So all these English businesses in Yorubaland, they want to make profit. We must not allow them to continue to make profit and they treat us like garbage. They support Fulani to suppress and dominate us. The Yoruba said in 1963, we don't want the Queen anymore. We don't want her. We have our own head of state, Oni of Ife. So no foreigner can be the head of state. So we became a republic. Then Nigeria became a public matter, not the private concern of the English, led by the Queen in 1963. We were still running federal system. The Yoruba regions were still doing their own thing. The Igbo were doing their own things. The Hausa Fulani were doing their own things. We became a republic. So the prime minister was Balewa, the governor general was Zik. And we're doing our own things. Everything was fine. Problem broke out between the Igbo and the Fulani in 1964. The agreement the Igbo and the Fulani had in 1959 was that Fulani will rule for one term and hand over to Igbo. Igbo will rule for one term and hand over to Fulani. Fulani will rule for another term and hand over to Igbo. That was what they planned, to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba nation. But Fulani were so scared that, wow, because the first time the Fulani had, from 1960 to 1964, the Igbo monopolized everything. The Igbo controlled the military, the Igbo monopolized the police, the Igbo monopolized the federal civil service, the Igbo took over everything that belongs to Yoruba. They were the vice chancellor in our two universities, Unilag and UI Ibadan. The Igbo monopolized all the positions. The Fulani had a meeting and said, wow, if we give these people the prime minister position, they are finished. The Igbo will control them. So Tafawa Balewa reneged on the agreement he had with Zik in 1959. So by 1964, he recontested. He declared himself winner because the election was rigged. Then Zik and other Igbo, they planned coup and carried out the coup in 1966. When they carried out the coup in 1966, they suspended the regional government. They suspended the new republic. They then brought in the unitary system. They brought in unitary system. The Igbo must be killed. Don't let us pretend about it. If you pretend about something, you are wasting your time. These guys must be killed because they have always been killing other people. If you kill them, they will respect you. It is when we kill Igbo that the Yoruba is now 50% to getting out of Nigeria. Then we'll deal with Fulani Squad. You must deal with your number one enemy first and foremost. Yoruba ló máa ń pòwe pé tí ọmọ ìyá ẹni tó bá rá ni nípò, ọmọ bàbá ẹni ó máa adjust ara rẹ̀ orí àpé. That is it. If we deal with the Igbo shit, then we'll go for Fulani. It is the English that I also always suffer. Fulani problem is moi. Take the English away from them. Igbo will need their naked. And how do we take the English? We destroy English businesses in Yorubaland. Simple. They can do anything to us in our country. They have that right. One thing the young Yoruba do not know is that anything that we do in Yorubaland, it is our space. So that was why the Igbo brought in unitary system. You see, the Fulani were scared that if they hand over to Igbo in 1964, they would then take over all the federal government and dominate everybody. So Fulani refused. They refused to hand over. But the Igbo took power in January 1966 and they turned Nigeria into a unitary state. What is a unitary state? Let us define that. Excuse me. Folks, Fulani have been killing Yoruba during June 12, between 1993 and 1998. Fulani killed 16,000 Yoruba. Did any international community, did they intervene? Did they help us? Fulani killed 16,000 Yoruba under 5 years. We will slaughter Igbo, nothing will happen. It is our space. We're asking Igbo, go back to Igbo land. Yeah, leave Yoruba land. You are killing us as armed robbers. You are killing us as kidnappers. You are killing us as vandals. You are selling fake drugs to us, fake spare parts that are killing our people. You are involved in prostitution. You are involved in drug dealing that are destroying our people. We're saying enough is enough. Go and do this in Igbo land. If you refuse to leave Yoruba land, we are going to kill you. There's nothing the international community will do. The stupid international community is there when Fulani are killing Yoruba. What did they do? The foolish international community, are they talking about the political system that we are practicing in Nigeria? Are they talking about that? I live in England as a Yoruba citizen and a black man. The English discriminate against me because this is not my country. I have Tinker Port, which I'm going to discuss about. That port generates 4 trillion every year. If I'm given that port as a Yoruba citizen to manage, and the government says, Adenika, you and your group, we're going to give you 10% of 4 trillion naira. That is 400 billion in a year. If I live and die in England, I will never make that money, that kind of money, because this is not my country. I get discriminated against. So I sit in Caport with 4 trillion naira. Yoruba are working like slaves in North America and across European countries. Fulani are controlling my own ports. So I will fold my hands. What international community are we talking about? Hopeless people. You go abroad, you get discriminated because that is not your country. Is international community talking about that? I'm well educated enough to be appointed the governor of Bank of England. Are they going to offer me such a position? Are they going to offer me such a position when there are more qualified English? What we're saying is this. We want to take back our space, the Yoruba land. We want to go back to regional government. And for 53 years, Fulani and Igbo have been refusing it. The next line of action is for us to kill them. Then let the international community come and say rubbish if we are not going to even kill them too. People die every day. My generation, we are willing to fight. The English fought Hitler. Over 1 million English died. Today, everybody wants to come and live in England. What if they have refused to die, to fight, and England and Hitler had overrun them? What will happen to their fate today? What are you talking about, international community? Stupid. I'm a Yoruba citizen. I'm not enjoying England. They discriminate against me. I want to go back to Yorubaland and work in Yorubaland. I don't want to work in Hausa Fulani land. I don't want to work in Igbo land. So I want the jobs in Yorubaland be given to Yoruba people. We are going to see the military bases in Lagos. More than 20 that we're going to expose to you today. We're going to destroy every one of them. They are focusing their attention on Apapa Wolf, putting Igbo soldiers there, putting Fulani soldiers there. There's so many more we can do. We are shutting down Lagos. So folks, let me continue. In 1966, the Igbo introduced the unitary system because they want to control everybody in Nigeria. What is unitary system? Unitary system is a state. Unity state is a state governed as a single power in which the central government is ultimately supreme. That is the system that Igbo introduced. The central government creates, listen to this, the central government creates administrative divisions, states and local government. These are administrative divisions. Such divisions exercise only the powers that the central government chooses to delegate. That was the system the Igbo introduced in 1966. Unitary system in which all the power were taken away from the regions and put in the hands of the federal government. The federal government ultimately becoming supreme. And what happened? The federal government then create divisions, states and local government, and delegate responsibilities to such a state. This is the system that the Igbo introduced. This is the system that we have been practicing since 1966. The Igbo introduced that system because they want to control everything in Nigeria. They want to control Yoruba land. They want to control Hausa Fulani land. Igbo destroyed Nigeria. Until today, Nnamdi Kanu and Hypo, Ohaneze Indibo, and all the Igbo politicians, they support this unitary system. They don't want Nigeria to go back to regional government. These 36 states pays the Igbo, as well as the Fulani. But the Igbo brought it about because they wanted to rule everyone in Nigeria. They wanted to rule every space in Nigeria. That is what they are exhibiting. But you see, I told you, when you kill them, you adjust. That is why they respect Fulani. Forever, they will continue to vote for Fulani. If we kill them in Yorubaland, 2023, they will carry Tinubu in his head, on their head rather, and be shouting Tinubu, and if we kill them. Look at what I said yesterday on this September 14, 2017. Buhari instructed Burata to go and kill Igbo youths. They went to Nnamdi Kanu house and fucking killed all of them. 2 months after, November 14, 2017, they gave Buhari chieftaincy title, the leader of all Igbo. That was the title of the chieftaincy, the leader of all Igbo, somebody who just killed their children. On 19th April 2019, Ebonyi State University named an institution after Buranta, the same man that sent soldiers to go and kill their children. So when you kill these people, they respect you. So that is the logic for the Yoruba nation. We must take over all the markets that belong to Igbo in Yoruba land. Everything, they are proceeds of crimes. It is from armed robbery, kidnapping that they got the money to invest, to buy up our properties. We must take it up. So they were the people who introduced unitary system. Unitary system take away the powers from the region and put it in the hand of the central government. Igbo made the central government the supreme power in Nigeria. That is why everybody wants to be president of Nigeria. That is why the Fulani are scared that by 2023, it will be the turn of the Yoruba. That's why the Igbo are saying they have never been president since Aguiyi Ironsi. They want to be president too. Igbo will never be president of Nigeria unless and until we go back to regional government. No Igbo soul will rule Nigeria. That is the name of Naira. Never allow Igbo rule again. The first time they had power, they destroyed the political system. Until we go back to regional government that we all negotiated before independence, no Igbo soul will rule in Nigeria. Not a single soul of Igbo will rule. They don't want to go back to that system. You know what? They shout on top of the world that they are industrious. Let them go back to regional government and show their industrious nature by building their space. They don't have that nature. They are crude. They are criminals. So that is why Nnamdi Kanu is just using propaganda of Biafra to retain the unity system. But Fulani likes them because Fulani used them to be in power. We are going to deal with them. We have come to realize their secrets. Half of Igbo population live in Yorubaland, and they are predominantly in Lagos. If you destroy Lagos, you destroy this half population. Fulani controls all the sources of wealth in Yorubaland, and they are mostly in Lagos. If you shut down Lagos, the Fulani sources of wealth is gone. So it is the battleground that we are going to focus. Lagos is the battleground. Guys have worked on all military bases in Lagos, which I'm going to reveal today. We're going to shut everywhere down. So we are advising people, Lagos will go down. There's no contest about it. For us to get our freedom, we must destroy Lagos. And people are worried, oh, if you destroy this infrastructure, we have done it before. The English colonized us for 100 years, they built nothing. Awolowo became the leader of government business and local government chairman for the entire Yorubaland in 1951. By 1959, when he was handing over to Akintola, the Yoruba nation had built everything first in Africa. Everything, television, skyscrapers, stadium, welfare system, free education, everything first in Africa. So we did that under 10 years. So if we destroy Lagos and we take Yorubaland out of Nigeria, give us 10 years, we will replicate the same success of our law. We will do it again. We are going to do it. So they introduced that. You need to understand this unity system, folks. All the powers from the regions were taken away from them by Decree 1, Decree 3, and Decree 34 of Aguyorosi and Igbo man. They were jubilating that they now controls everybody. So forget it. No single Igbo soul will be president of Nigeria under this unity system. They will destroy everybody. That has always been their desire. But they are cool. They know the implication. They are cool with that reality, but they don't want that system to end, but they would rather be second-class citizen to Fulani because they don't have money. Fulani too don't have money. So the two of them join forces together to control Yorubaland, and we're going to kill them. We will kill them. There's no contest about that. So we're not blinking an eye. That is the reality. That is the reality. So after Fulani then took over power from the Igbo in July 1966, they perpetrated the system that the Igbo introduced. In 1979, when the military were leaving, it was Obasanjo who was in power then. They introduced the presidential system. They wrote a constitution, the 1979 constitution. You know, Obasanjo is not Yoruba. Obasanjo is Igbo. Yesterday, there was one of these politicians who called me. He wanted to be president. He's asking for my support. And I said to him, I'm conservative. I support the Yoruba APC because they have always been conservative. It has always been the party leading in Yoruba. And he's a Yoruba guy. I said, I'm not going to openly or publicly support you. He came to me and said, he's working with Obasanjo now. That Obasanjo is this and that. I said, Obasanjo is evil. Obasanjo is evil. And I said to him, Obasanjo is not even Yoruba. So he didn't get Obasanjo's support. He called me that they have given me one ticket to do another thing, not in any of the main political parties. So he called me back yesterday after a long time and he was telling me, I have to be honest with you. You know that Obasanjo is not Yoruba. Obasanjo was given his grandfather's name. But he was telling me shit about Obasanjo. But when I was telling him all of this, because of his political interest, he was telling me something else. But later, he told me the truth by himself. He told me the truth. I just listened to him without saying a single word, and I said thank you, and I cut off the phone. I understand Libra people. When they want something, they talk shit. So when this man, Obasanjo, was going, because it's Igbo, when Obasanjo, let me remind you this, Young Yoruba, when Obasanjo was the head of state of Nigeria after the assassination of Muritara, Obasanjo was there from 1976 to 1979. He was just a figurehead. The real head of state was Shehu Yaradua. That was the guy that was ruling Nigeria. So it was the Fulani who introduced the presidential system. They said, we are going to adopt the presidential system of the United States of America. But it was presidential system in name, but everything unitary system. Everything unitary system. Before I will discuss this presidential system that the Fulani introduced, I want Young Yoruba to know one thing. 3 people agree to parliamentary system. I've discussed it. It's the first thing I discussed, parliamentary system. 3 people agree to it: Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa Fulani. 3 people, and we were practicing it. In 1966, Igbo single-handedly destroyed that system that 3 people agreed to. The Igbo imposed unity system. Fulani took power from the Igbo and single-handedly imposed what is called presidential system. But the presidential system is actually the continuation of the unity system. Now, these 2 people, they believe that we are cowards, that they can dictate for our life. We 3 people agreed to something, and the first rejected that, destroyed that thing, and imposed his own. The second rejected that thing and imposed his own. It is our generation that must now impose our own. And the first 2, Igbo and Fulani, they did not impose their own by laughing, by kissing each other, by pumping champagne. No, they imposed their own political system by killing Yoruba. That is the history. They imposed their own desired political system by killing Yoruba. We are going to now impose our own desired political system by killing the Igbo and Fulani. When somebody kills you, you don't kill them back. They call you cowards. Yeah. I have told you about my own experience in this country. I approached the police because my wife accused me of cheating. Well, it's the truth, I cheated. And she said, I'm not going to see the kids. Everybody bent down. And I know the system. If I do gara with her, she just call police for me. So I would rather went to the police myself. And when I got there, and I gave them their number, that this is my wife's number, call her. This is the address that she's living, but I don't want to go there because she moved to her friend's place because she was upset. Everybody will beg that for 2 months and 10 days. And police call her. You know, women, she said, I'm not giving him the children, he's going to run away with the children. He's sending me malicious messages that he's going to run away with the children. The police came back to me and said, your wife said you sent her malicious text message. You want to see your phone. I was very upset. I said, I don't want her to call police on me so that you will come and be harassing me. I came to you by myself. Say, take, this is where she's moved to. I know the place. I don't want to go there. Can you go there and help me to take the kids so that I can take them to school? And you are now coming back to me and say, my wife has made allegations against me of sending her malicious text message. And you are requesting for my phone. Me that I've instructed you to help me. You did not help me. So you now want my phone. I refuse to give them. This stupid idiot English guy, he just slapped me. Believe you me. Bah! 2 hot slap. You think I'm an idiot, right? I put my phone in there, fucking give him a blow in the nose. Bah, bah. Like, I was like Mike Tyson. Fucking give him. We started beating each other. And he called others. So they ran in. All of them started beating me. I fought back. Look, the case went to court. I won. They were scared of me since that day. If I were like idiots, they fucking slapped me. I put my hands down and I said, I'm sorry, sir. They will have given me criminal record in this country. They will have destroyed my life. I fought back very, very ruthlessly. So when these fucking Igbo said, we're going to call police for you, I just look at you. I took them to court and I won. After we fucking thoroughly beat each other, they fucking respect me because I am not weak-minded. You cannot turn me into a slave. I needed help and you are not fucking beating me. They locked me up in custody, by the way. They make all manners of allegations. I won. Later, they were saying to me we should do plea bargain. I refused. I took the case to court. And I won them. This is one thing I have learned about life. If somebody continuously doing evil towards you, you embrace them, they will finish you. That is why the Igbo have the boldness to call us cowards. They come to our space and kill us as armed robber. We do nothing. They come to our space and kill us as kidnappers. We do nothing. They come to our space and vandalize everything. We do nothing. They sell fake drugs to us that kill us. We do nothing. They are involved in prostitution, spreading HIV across. We do nothing. They come into our space to traffic in drugs. We do nothing. They will round up girls in Yorubaland, put them in a house, started sleeping with them and selling their babies. We do nothing. They call us cowards. During the war, they kill our people. We do nothing. They kill our leaders. We do nothing. So they call us cowards. In such a way, they will never vote for you. Because they know that you won't do anything. You will not do anything. You will never do anything. I learned a great deal that when somebody do evil to you, if you keep quiet, they'll finish you. When the case went to court, the police officer who came, they were scared of me. They were scared of me. They didn't believe that. I said to them, I'm not Jamaica. And I said to them that I'm not economic migrant. I unfortunately needed a medical care for my son. That's why I ended up in this country. I was doing a good job in Yorubaland. So don't look at me as economic migrants. And because of that, you now undermine me as a man, as a father who wanted justice, who doesn't want to use force, who want to use legitimate means to resolve a simple problem that happened over text message from a girl. Very simple problem. You know, women will be very emotional and they will say, oh, you are not going to see the kids because we live abroad. Simple things that the police made it, they escalated the whole thing by assaulting me. They thought because I'm black and then I would not do anything. And I said to them, I'll take my own revenge, and I did the same. So folks, we must revenge for what the Igbo and the Fulani have done to us. So that was what happened. Now let us talk about this presidential system that the Fulani introduced. How can they single-handedly be introducing a political system that the Yoruba nation did not subscribe to? This is what presidential system says. A presidential system is a democratic and republican system of government where a head of government leads an executive branch that is separate from the legislative branch. The head of government is oftentimes called the president. That presidential system was introduced by the Fulani. It wasn't introduced by the Yoruba. So you see, we the Yoruba, we are the only one out of the three major ethnic groups yet to introduce a political system into Nigeria, and we're going to break up Nigeria. Look, it has been destined by God like that. It is our role, our generation. We will now break up Nigeria. The Igbo introduced unitary system, the Fulani introduced presidential system, and we will now break up Nigeria. That is what God wants. We, Yoruba, will now break up Nigeria. Because it is foolish for these two to change an agreed system. Now, let us look at this presidential system in total. America practices presidential system. In America, the president of America does not control the crude oil in Texas or Alaska or California. The president of America does not control the police in the states in America. The president of America does not control the military in America. The president of America does not control the court system in the states. The president of America does not control the tax revenue generated by the state. That is what presidential system is all about. In America, President Trump has only 7 functions. But in Nigeria, President Buhari has 68 functions. In Nigeria, President Buhari controls the police. In Nigeria, President Buhari controls the military. In Nigeria, President Buhari controls all the tax revenue. This is not presidential system. This is unitary system. The same thing the Igbo introduced. The Fulani continues with it. They change the name to presidential system. Fulani and the Igbo are the same. They want to suppress Yoruba. That's why they are going to die. It is going to be massive killing. You think it is only Yoruba that are watching my video. You see, there's few Yoruba that are really watching it. The people who are watching my video in Nigeria are mostly Igbo because they are so scared. And white people are watching my video, particularly in America. You think CIA is not watching my video? You think MI5 is not watching my video? You think MI6 is not? You think UK government don't know me? You think American government does not have a clue about what is going on? You think international community that the Igbo don't know? You cannot change the system. It has to be agreed upon. If you look closely at the American presidential system, it's a very good system. The states in America, they control the police. The state in America, they control their crude oil. The state in America, they control their taxes. The state in America, they have their own military. The state in America, they conduct their own election. The state in America, they control all their tax revenue. Under presidential system, whatever money that is generated from each state in America, the state takes everything and give an agreed percentage to the federal government. The reverse is the case in Nigeria. Fulani will kill, will destroy, will threaten to get to the presidency of Nigeria. They always get to the presidency of Nigeria with the backing of the Igbo. So when they get there, they control the police, they control the military, they control the judiciary, they control the National Assembly, they control the custom, they control immigration, they control port, they control aviation, they control infrastructure, they control education. 68 fucking functions. They control your life. What we are practicing is not presidential system, it's actually unity system. That is why the Igbo like it. So the Igbo forever, they are looking for a day in their life to, by mistake, by any error, to announce an Igbo citizen as the president-elect of Nigeria. So that day they will now use all this power in the hands of the president to fucking destroy you. So that is why the irresponsible, self-serving career politician in England, they are scared if Tinubu should be president. They will use propaganda and tell you Tinubu is a drug dealer. They will use propaganda and tell you all manners of things. There was a time they were telling you Tinubu cannot go to America. This is Britain behind all this shit. That was why I said to the Yoruba youth, it is disheartening for you to be circulating BBC News Yoruba when you have so many Yoruba news channels. BBC News belong to the English. They are propaganda machine. So when you listen to their news, you know behind it that this could be propaganda. You have to be cautious. How can we accept the Igbo to change the political system? How can we accept the Fulani to change the political system? Something three people agreed to. So this is what our generation must now do. We are the one that must give Nigeria a new political order, and that is to destroy that country, to break it apart, to never come back together again. And our generation will do that. And this is what we have been born for. So that is what we're going to do. Now you see, you know this, the parliamentary system, the republic, unity system, presidential system. Let me repeat that unity system again so that you know it is the Igbo who brought it about. A unity system is a state governed as a single power in which the central government is ultimately supreme. Sorry, is Buhari not supreme? Is he not supreme? The central government creates administrative divisions such as state and local government. Such administrative divisions exercise only the powers that the central government chooses to delegate for such administrative unit. That is what we are practicing in Nigeria. So the central government is the most extremely powerful in the world, the federal government of Nigeria. They now fucking create states and local government and delegate the function they want for that. So what is Fulani doing? They want to continue to be there. Since 1960, Fulani has always been in power. So they want to be there and fucking dominate you. When the irresponsible English colonial talks, when they were enslaving us, they were not as powerful as the current Fulani who are president of Nigeria. And that is the same power that Atiku desire. That is the same power that the horrible liberal Yoruba want Atiku to have with the combination of the Igbo. So they suppress the Yoruba nation. We are going to kill these guys. There's no contest about that. They don't want to be killed. We will go back to 1960 parliamentary system, so that we Yoruba can appoint Tinubu or Shibaju or Fashola or my humble self or any brilliant Yoruba as our prime minister, who is going to manage our resources, who is going to be in charge of our police, of our military, of our court system, from the lowest court to the Supreme Court, who is going to manage our education, our infrastructure, our health care, everything in Yorubaland, our revenue, our ports, immigration, every garden thing. That is what we want. Fulani don't want such. They don't want you to be free. Igbo don't want such. They do not want you to be free. So we kill them. We have the legitimate reason to kill these people. If we do not kill them, they are already killing you, and they will destroy you so that your children will not have a future. I want to challenge the irresponsible self-serving career politician in England. Come and appoint me the governor of the Bank of England so that we allow Igbo and Fulani to continue to suppress us. Come and go and appoint Yoruba to be the Queen of England. Go and give the church. The English will not, ordinary Scottish, who are part of the United Kingdom, the English will not allow them to be prime minister. Because they are minority. The Scottish are minority, and the Scottish do not have the economic power like the English. The English are majority, and they have the economic power. We Yoruba are the majority, and we have the economic power. Foolish English politicians are backing up minority Fulani who have not the economic power. So we're challenging these irresponsible English politicians. Go and make Scottish to rule over you in your own UK. They will not, because they understand one thing, self-preservation. But they continue to support Fulani, to suppress us. That was why they are planning, they are being strategic. They want to put Atiku there so that the Yoruba nationalism that is growing would die a natural death, so that they continue to suppress and subjugate us. If you English can confront Hitler and 1 million of you died in the process, the young Yoruba of my generation is willing to defend Yoruba, and we're willing to kill. We're willing to kill. Enough is enough. We cannot be wasting away. I challenge the young Yoruba. The best American brains, they are not in Nigeria. They are not outside America. They are in the United States making that country great. The best of English brains are not scattered all over the world. They are in England making their country great. The best of Chinese brain, the best of Russian brains, the best of Japanese brain, the best of German brain are in their respective countries, making these countries great. But in the case of the Yoruba nation, our best brain are scattered all over the world because of the unity system. We must put an end to this system, folks. So you see the system. You see how it works. Now let me now go back to the lecture proper. I've spent about an hour explaining the details to you, how we are where we are now. It is the Igbo. Just if you want to make joke, if you want to shame the Igbo about their agitation for Biafra, tell them, let us go back to regional government. They will say no. Capital, no. We want Biafra. They know that Biafra will not be. Now make a joke again and say, you are going to have your Biafra, Igbo speaking Biafra. They will say no. Anyone that typed to rapper is Igbo. You can see how illiterate, how stupid, how crude these guys are. They want unity system and they are getting it currently, but they are going to lose. I know Igbo very well. I know them. Just kill few of them in Lagos. Just few of them. Few of them. Just kill them. They will be decimated. They are horrible people. Let's just look at what is going on. Okay. I hope we're able to go right. Folks, those of you on Facebook, you know, they attack us more on Facebook. So you continue to love and like. continue to. Now let's go back to what I wanted to discuss today proper. But you need to understand the details, which you now get. Who built Tinkerport? This is something that we must discuss. Because the Igbo propaganda is too much. The propaganda of the Igbo is too much. Because they don't have any wealth. They don't have any wealth, so they are looking to appropriate the Yoruba wealth. Who built Tinkerport? You ask the Igbo, they will tell you, nah, federal government built Lagos. I hate their language. I don't like Igbo. I'm not going to be deceitful. I don't like them. They are criminally minded. They do evil towards the Yoruba. So this is what the Igbo are always saying. Federal government built Lagos. Horrible Yoruba Libra who are illiterate. Libra are not very intelligent all across the world. In America, they are stupid. If you see a Libra woman, she sleeps around. So they are not very reserved people. They are not smart. They are not intelligent. So you see some Libra Yoruba also. They say, oh, federal government do this, federal government does that. People say that often, almost every time. Now, the simple question we have to ask ourselves in regards to who built Tinkerport is, where does the federal government get the money to build Tinkerport? Where does the federal government get the money? Federal government of Nigeria, since the Igbo suspended regional government, takes revenue from all across the country. It wasn't like that before until 1966. Federal government of Nigeria is like federal government of America. The federal government of America does not control any wealth in America, but the states pays an agreed percentage of their wealth to the federal government of America. That was the same system in Nigeria. The regions, we paid an agreed portion of our wealth to the federal government of Nigeria. But since Igbo suspended the regional government, the federal government of Nigeria takes all the money away from the region and move it down to Abuja. So, in answering the question, who built Tinkerport? The question is, the Igbo said it is the federal government. Now, the question is, where does the federal government get money to build Tinkerport? Where does the federal government get revenue at all? It's a very question. This answer is very simple. The federal government gets revenue from 7 major sources. All the noise that we make about federal government money, it is coming from 7 major sources. Why is it that these are 7 major sources? Because more than 90% of the federal government revenue comes from these 7 major sources. You know them. Let me just quickly repeat them. Number 1 major source is the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC. That's number 1. Number 2 is the Nigerian Customs Service. Number 3 is the Federal Inland Revenue Service. Number 4 is the Nigerian Port Authority. Number 5 is the Central Bank of Nigeria. Number 6 is the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. And number 7 is the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas. These are the 7 major sources of revenue of the federal government of Nigeria. These 7 sources accounted for 90% or more of the total revenue of the federal government of Nigeria. So it is from this money that the federal government will use to do any project, like say Tinkerport. Now that you know these 7 major sources, now let us look at one after the other. Number 1, NNPC. According to the NNPC report, 80% of the revenue of the NNPC that goes to the federal government comes from what we and I call South-South. The remaining 20% is coming from Yorubaland. This is a given fact. There is no kobo that is coming from Hausa Fulani land. There is no kobo that is coming from Kanuri land. There is no sisi that is coming from the Middle Belt. And there is no pin, no dime is coming from Igbo land into NNPC revenue. The Igbo don't have oil. Anambra has no oil. Imo and Ebonyi, Imo and Abia, the oil they have there is insignificant. insignificant according to NNPC report. So the revenue of the federal government, NNPC, 80% is coming from South, 20% is coming from the Yorubaland. Now, I have said to you that if you look at the South, they have more than 10 nations. Ijo, Edo, Urobo, Ogoni, Efik, Ibibio, Isoko, Ikwani, and the rest of them. So if you share this 80% NNPC revenue to these 10 nations, the highest is Ijo. And what is Ijo contribution to NNPC revenue? 16%. So Yoruba is the highest contributor of NNPC revenue, 20%. So nothing, 0% is coming from Igbo land, 0% is coming from Hausa Fulani land, 0% is coming from Kanuri land, 0% is coming from the Middle Belt, NNPC revenue. I've told you these 7 major sources of revenue of the federal government. That is where the federal government gets money to build anything. Now let us go to number 2. Number 2 is the Nigerian custom. We have 11 custom commands across Yorubaland. All these 11 custom commands generate 90% of the Nigerian custom service revenue. So the remaining 10% is 5% is coming from the South, 5% is coming from the Hausa Fulani region. So we Yoruba, we produce 90% of the revenue of the Nigerian custom service. This is the sources of money or revenue of the federal government to build anything. So we are asking who builds Think-A-Pot. Now, the next thing which we are going to go through is the Federal Inland Revenue Service. But I will skip that because under the Federal Inland Revenue Services, there are several taxes which I will skip, and I will go to the 4th sources of revenue, but I will come back to the Federal Inland Revenue. The 4th sources of revenue of the federal government is the Nigerian Port Authority, NPA. 90% of the revenue of NPA comes from Yorubaland. Igbo has no port. Kanuri has no port. Middle Belt has no port. Hausa Fulani land has no port. But Yoruba and Sousa, we have ports. But the Yoruba port contributes 90% of the revenue of the NPA. 0% is coming from Igbo land. 0% is coming from Middle Belt. 0% is coming from Kanuri land. Fucking 0% is coming from Hausa Fulani land. That is the 4th sources of revenue of the federal government. Number 5 is the Central Bank of Nigeria. Let me quickly explain something about the Central Bank of Nigeria. For you, Central Bank of Nigeria gets majority of its money by trading the money from NNPC, from the Nigerian Custom, from the NPA, from Federal Inland Revenue Services, all the taxes collected, all the dues collected. The account is kept with the CBN. CBN trade with this money, so they earn interest. From that, 60% of the earning of the CBN comes from Yorubaland. The remaining 40% is shared across Hausa land, Igbo land, Kanuri land, Middle Belt, and the South. But 60% of the earnings of the CBN comes from Yorubaland. You see again that we are the major sources of revenue of the federal government. Number 6 is the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA. 95% of NIMASA revenue is coming from Yorubaland. You see, NIMASA gets its revenue from rent, royalty, and visa due. When any visa, we call it ship, is coming to do business in Yoruba land, our waterways, they are coming to offload their goods and services. The NIMASA charges 3% surcharge of the worth of the entire goods they are bringing. And all the ships that are coming to Nigeria, 95% of them dock in Yoruba waterway because we have deep sea ports. The South do not have deep sea ports. So all the revenue realized by NIMASA, 95% is coming from Yorubaland. The remaining 5% is coming from the South. 0% is coming from Hausa land. 0% is coming from Kanuri land. 0% is coming from Middle Belt. 0% is coming from Igbo land. They don't have ports. So this is number 6. Number 7 is the Nigeria liquefied natural gas. In Ondo, Ogun, Ishekiri, and Lagos, we have crude oil, but we are not currently exploiting natural gas. The entire natural gas in Nigeria is exploiting in Bonny. Bonny is part of the South, and they make around 300 billion to the federal government every year. That entire money is coming from the South. Yoruba has 0 contribution to liquefied natural gas revenue. Igbo has 0 contribution. Middle Belt has 0 contribution. Canary Land has 0 contribution. Hausa Fulani has 0 contribution. So from what we have done now, we've done this research since 2012. We call it Yorubaland, the economic backbone of Nigeria. From our various calculations, we concluded that 49% of the revenue of the federal government comes from Yorubaland. 44% comes from the South. The remaining 7%, 2.5% comes from Hausa Fulani Land, 2% comes from Middle Belt, 1.5% comes from Igbo Land, and 1% comes from Kanuri Land. So we are the economic backbone. Now, let me quickly now go back to number 3 sources of revenue that I didn't discuss earlier, because it's the real tax. That is coming from the Federal Inland Revenue Service. You remember, we did a research many years ago, in 2012, like I said. I concluded that the revenue of the Federal Inland Revenue, that 80% of its revenue comes from Yorubaland. People always abuse me. You shit, I'm an economist because this is my training. In 2017, late 2017, the Oba of Lagos, when the chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service met with the Oba of Lagos, the Oba of Lagos was very upset. The Oba of Lagos said that 70% of the Federal Inland Revenue taxes paid comes from Lagos. Oba of Lagos said it. If you go onto your internet, you search it. Lagos State, Oba of Lagos and Federal Inland Revenue, you see, it says 70%. He then wrote a letter to this horrible Fulani man called Saraki. He complains to Saraki that how can Federal Inland Revenue be generating 70% of its revenue from Lagos, and Lagos cannot get 0% of that money back. He wrote a letter to Saraki. Saraki just put the letter in the dustbin. But when we did our own research, we said to the entire world that 80% of Federal Inland Revenues comes from Yorubaland. People were abusing me, and that is Oba of Lagos. You expected him to be an authority because the chairman of Federal Inland Revenue, this Tinubu's friend, is from Lagos. So you expected him to give valid information to the Oba of Lagos. But when I did that research, with the support of my staff in YYF, people were abusing us. We said Yorubaland is contributing 80%. This is our area of specialization. We've been to university. We're not just idiot like Igbo. We're smart. Now, let us look at these Federal Inland Revenue taxes. We want to find out who built Tinkerport. The Igbo will open their mouth, federal government built Tinkerport. Where is the federal government getting the money to build Tinkerport? It's getting the money from Yorubaland. So Yoruba builds Tinkerport. Let us look at the Federal Inland Revenue taxes. The Federal Inland Revenue is taking the following taxes on behalf of the federal government. It shouldn't be. But because we now practice unitary system, federal government controls everything. That was the system the Igbo introduced in 1966. Now, what are these taxes? Personal income tax. I said personal income tax is only paid by military personnel, police, and ambassadors. But it's not so much. Most of the time, I don't like to discuss it. Other personal income tax is collected by the state. But the federal personal income tax is collected by the federal government. From the police, from the armed forces, from ambassadors. Now, what are the other taxes collected by the Federal Inland Revenue? Corporate income tax, education tax, information technology tax, pension contribution, national housing fund contribution, industrial training fund contribution, employee compensation scheme, petroleum profit tax, capital gain tax, withholding tax, value-added tax, VAT, stamp duty, and usury tax. See, these are all the taxes collected by the Federal Inland Revenue. Yoruba, in terms of the company tax, we Yoruba, we pay 85% of the company tax in Nigeria. How? If you go to the CAC, that is Corporate Affairs Commission, we went there when we were doing our research. We said to them, look, all the companies that you register across Nigeria, where are they domiciled? They came back to us and said 85% of all registered companies in Nigeria are in what you call Southwest. We know that is Yorubaland, obviously. So according to this Corporate Affairs Commission, who is responsible for registering all companies in Nigeria, they said to us that 85% of all registered companies in Nigeria are in Yorubaland. That means that Yoruba are paying 85% of income tax. All the companies in Nigeria must pay 2% of their profit as education tax. Because 85% of companies registered in Nigeria are in Yorubaland, Yoruba is responsible for 85% of education tax. All companies in Nigeria must pay 1% of their profit as information technology tax. Because 85% of all companies in Nigeria are registered in Yorubaland, Yoruba is paying 85% of information technology tax. All companies in Nigeria must pay 18% of their emolument as pension fund. Because 85% of all companies registered in Nigeria are in Yorubaland, Yoruba is responsible for paying 85% of pension contribution. But Fulani are stealing all of this money. All companies in Nigeria, let's go to National Housing Fund. All companies in Nigeria must pay 2.5% of the basic salaries of their employee as National Housing Fund contribution. Because 85% of all companies in Nigeria are registered in Yorubaland, Yoruba is paying 85% of National Housing Fund contribution. All companies in Nigeria, employers must pay 1% of their annual payroll cost as industrial training fund contribution. So because all the registered companies in Nigeria, 85% of them are in Yorubaland, Yoruba is responsible for paying 85% of industrial training fund contribution in Nigeria. Let us go to employee compensation. Employee compensation. 1% of employee total monthly payroll must be paid to the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund. Because 85% of all registered companies in Nigeria are situated in Yorubaland, Yoruba is responsible for 85% of employee compensation scheme. Petroleum profit tax. Yoruba pays 65% of petroleum profit tax because 65% of vehicles in Nigeria are in Yorubaland. Capital gain tax. We are paying massive capital gain tax also in Yorubaland. If you sell anything that you've used before and you sell this used product, maybe machineries, plant or anything, you pay 10% as capital gain tax. Yoruba is responsible for 90% of the capital gain tax paid in Nigeria. Withholding tax. We are also responsible for withholding tax because we are the only one that are doing mostly shares, stocks. When you get your dividend paid, interest, you get management fees, legal fees, audit fee, and other professional fees that are being collected. 90% of withholding tax paid in Nigeria are paid by the Yoruba people. Value-added tax. Let me say this about value-added tax, and then I said, in 2012, when I came up with that research, Yorubaland, the economic backbone, I said the Yoruba nation, we are the one responsible for 75% of value-added tax paid in Nigeria. People call me horrible names because they are illiterate. The former minister for finance, that Yoruba woman, she came out. You can type her name online. You will see, she said, Lagos State alone is responsible for 55% of value-added tax paid in Nigeria. By the time you factor Ogun State, you factor Oyo State, you factor Kwara State, you factor part of Kogi, Osun State, Ekiti State, we factor in part of Akoko Edo, you factor in part of Ishekiri, Yoruba, we are the one paying more than 75% of the VAT in Nigeria. All of these are sources of revenue of the federal government. These are revenue the federal government needs to do any project. Then another thing that we do is stamp duty. Another thing that we do is luxury goods. Yoruba is contributing 90% of stamp duty. Nobody has been able to confront me on the allegations that I made that 90% of the stamp duty in Nigeria was collected from what you call VDC, where the vice president lives. Nobody has been able. This is what we confirm in our research. VDC alone is paying 90% of the stamp duty paid in Nigeria. You know, if we run regional government, we can use that money to create another VDC. Luxury goods, 60% of tax from luxury goods is coming from Yorubaland. When you go and park your private jets in our airport, you pay tax. When you drink that brandy, expensive brandy, when you import pizza from London, according to Minister for Agriculture, that's luxury goods. They are collecting tax from it. 60% of that, we're responsible for it. The taxes collected by the Federal Inland Revenue, the Yoruba is responsible for between 80% to 85% of these taxes. These sources of revenue is what the federal government collects to do any project. The federal government did not build Tinkerport. The revenue collected from Yorubaland was used to build Tinkerport. There is no revenue collected from Igbo land, revenue collected from South, revenue collected from Middle Belt, revenue collected from Kanuri land, or revenue collected from Hausa Fulani land to build our own Tinkerport. No! The exact revenue collected from Yoruba people were used. Majority of our money have always been used to fund development in Hausa Fulani land, in Kanuri land, in Middle Belt, and Igbo land. 49% of the revenue of the federal government comes from Yorubaland. 44% comes from what is South. 49 plus 44, that is 93% of the total revenue of the federal government of Nigeria is coming from two regions, Yoruba and South. The remaining 7% is coming from the other four regions. Hausa Fulani contributes 2.5%. Middle Belt contributes 2%. Igbo contributes 1.5%, and Kanuri people contribute 1%. You see, Yoruba were so rich, but every single development in Hausa land, in the entire north, it is our money that is responsible for it. Every single development in Igbo land, it is the money from Yoruba land combined with the money from South that is building Igbo land. These guys will never support a return to regional government until you kill them. There's no contest about that. We Yoruba, we contribute 49%. Igbo contribute 1.5%. Can you see the difference? 49% to 1.5%. We Yoruba, we contribute 49% of the revenue of the federal government. Hausa Fulani contributes 2.5%. You see the huge difference. But when we want to share this money, according to the 1999 Constitution, we must share this money according to number of states, according to number of local government, according to land mass, and according to population figure. Yoruba, you don't have more states. Yoruba, you don't have more local government. Yoruba, you don't have more land mass. Yoruba, you don't have more population. Fulani that is contributing 2.5% has more of this. So Fulani takes our money to build Fulani land. Igbo takes our money to build Igbo land. These guys will never, till Jesus comes, support a return to regional government. You know what that means? Your 49% Yoruba, you control it. You will solely control your 49%. When we do control that, do you know how much wealth that we're going to have? Igbo cannot develop without unitary system. Hausa Fulani cannot develop without unitary system. And the question to you, Yoruba, is this. These guys do not have money. You have money. Who should be president of Nigeria? It's a simple question. Look at myself and Adenuga. We both live in the same estate, and we want to pay security fee. Adenuga says, don't worry everybody, I will pay for your security. And we now want to appoint the chairman of our housing estate. Who will be the chairman? Is it me that cannot afford to pay for security fee, or Adenuga that is paying for everybody's security fee? Adenuga will be appointed the chairman of our housing estate. Fulani contribution to the revenue of the federal government is only 2.5%. Igbo contribution is 1.5%. Yoruba is contributing 49%. And we, the economic backbone, we are deputy to people who have no money. We got to kill these guys. They will never support a return to regional government. This unity system pays the Igbo and the Fulani. The federal government does not. It's not responsible for the building of Tinkapot. Yoruba built Tinkapot. Yoruba built taught me language. If the Igbo know that federal government is the one building it, let them support regional government so that they control their wealth. So that South control their home wealth. So that we control our own wealth, so that federal government builds nothing anymore. But the Igbo knows deep down in their heart of heart that they are living on the wealth of the Yoruba people and the South people. The Fulani knows that they are living on the wealth of the Yoruba people and the South people. But this is a strange phenomenon. People who are poor do not rule over those who are rich. No. So that is why Fulani and the Igbo will forever work hand in hand to maintain the unity system. But if we can kill them, believe you me, they will run. They are subjugating you. I want to challenge the young Yoruba. Go on to your internet. Type Fashola Tinkapot. Fashola said Tinkapot generates 2 trillion naira every year. When we did our research, we accumulated a number of variables. Our research shows that Tinkapot generates 4 trillion. What is 10% of 2 trillion? That is 200 fucking billion. 200 fucking billion. What is 10% of 4 trillion? That is 400 fucking billion. I'm a Yoruba citizen. With what I have been able to do, that everybody is pressing my name. The other time when I wrote to President Trump, I put my name, Prime Minister Designate. The Liberal were shouting on top of their voices, and they cannot do half of what I have done. They said, oh, you cannot become, if I cannot become Prime Minister, I can become the governor of the Central Bank of Oduduwa Republic. I can be in charge of that port, for instance. And if the Yoruba leader said to me, grandson, you've done great, we're going to give you 10% of what Tinkapot is generating, you and your YYF group. That is 400 billion every year. I will never make that money if I continue to live in England for the rest of my life. But in my home space, if I'm the managing director of Tinkapot, and the government who appointed me saying they are being nice to me, grandson, take 10% of Tinkapot revenue, fucking 4 trillion, 400 billion. Me and my group, all of my girlfriends, will enjoy yourself. I know the Liberal will talk about it. So I want you to see how much the Yoruba nation is losing under this unitary system. We are only 60 million people. Believe you me, no Yoruba should live in England and driving their taxi, driving their bus, driving their railway, doing shit jobs like care work, doing security guard with the wealth in Yorubaland. We are funding development in the entire north with our wealth, yet we are poor. We are funding every development in Igbo land, yet we are poor. The best of our brain are scattered all over the world when we have so much wealth. This is what our generation must stop. If we do not stop, this Fulani and the Igbo, they know the wealth in Yorubaland. They want to take it, and the only way they can take it is to kill us. That's why they are killing us with fake drug. That's why Fulani controls the police and say they will not give it up, that we will not decentralize the police. So they are killing our children. SAS is killing your children. EFCC, Fulani EFCC official operational in Yorubaland, killing our children because they don't want us to take back our wealth. If we control the military, which I will now talk about, in order to maintain this unitary system, Fulani has the backing of the English. If we do not fight, believe you me, the future of our children is bleak. So folks, we must stop this economic injustice. The Yoruba built Tinker Port. The Tinker Port was not built by the federal government. The federal government is stealing our wealth. It is collecting all the revenue from Yorubaland. We say, not anymore. We go back to regional government. If they said no, we kill them. The Igbo and Fulani in Yorubaland, we kill them. Forget about the noise. They talk about international community. Hopeless international community. Are they fighting the back of the Yoruba? They are not fighting our back. So what do, folks? They want to destroy us. They want to destroy us. How is the Fulani maintaining this unitary system? How? How is the Fulani maintaining this unitary system? Eh? They maintain the unitary system by working hand in hand with the Igbo. Then they go to the fucking English and work hand in hand with them in order to maintain the unitary system. They control the presidency. Whoever controls the presidency control the military and control the police. Look at Lagos State. When we were doing the research, we realized that in Lagos State alone, there are more than 20 military bases and installations. Everything controlled by Fulani. Everything. I received this message from my colleague in Hawaii. I said to him, look, let's do this research about military. Everything is controlled by the Fulani because you have the money in Yoruba. They don't want to give up your money until you kill them. The military base in Lagos alone have more than 20. They are not the military powerhouse for obvious reason. The military powerhouse is based in the north. But the intention of these 20 military bases alone in Lagos is to suppress you, Yoruba. Is to suppress you. During June 12 crisis, young Yoruba who were older than us now, they were young then, they took over Apapa Wharf for 7 days. Horrible, stupid English politicians. They were the one who instructed their navy to go and kill the Yoruba youth and take it back. So that is why we're going to blow them up. So English will not help Fulani to take back our space. And we're going to fucking kill and fight. Lagos State alone has more than 20 military bases and installations. Everything controlled by Fulani. That is why our children are into Yahoo Yahoo. No job for us. Number one, the NAF base in Lagos. Number two, Ikeja military cantonment. Number three, 81st Division Nigerian Army. Number four, Nigerian Army Headquarters. Number five, Nigerian Armed Forces RC Headquarters. Number six, Nigerian Army Ordnance Tailor Factory. Number seven, AN Barracks. Number eight, Nigeria Army Ordnance Depot. Number nine, Signal Barracks in Mile 2. Number 10, 81 Division Army Headquarters. Number 11, Headquarters Nigerian Army Ordnance Corps. Number 12, Army Barracks across Lagos. Number 13, Military Defense. Number 14, Nigeria Army Barracks again. Number 15, Nigeria Air Force Camp. Number 16, Sam Etan Air Force Base. Number 17, Nigerian Army Ikeja. Number 18, Daniel 81 Division Nigerian Army. Number 9, Kia Office Military Barracks. Number 20, Tamandu Barracks. Number 21, Nigeria Navy Barracks. Number 22, Nigeria Military Barracks, Agbede. Number 23, Air Force Base, Badagry. Number 24, NNS, Big Coft Navy Base. Number 25, Nigeria Army Cantonment. These are all military bases and more. Everything under the control of the flag. No jobs for our children. They want to control the wealth in Yorubaland. Fulani do not have crude oil. We have crude oil. So for them to control the crude oil, they control the presidency. So when they control the presidency, they control the military to kill you. Yeah, to kill you. Fulani don't have ports. So they control the presidency in order for them to control the military to kill you if you want that port back. Fulani don't have waterways. They take the presidency, they use the military to control your waterways. That's why all their bases are in Lagos, like it's 20. But they are going down. Lagos is the battleground. The entire Yoruba nation must know this. If we shut down Lagos and blow up everything, this Fulani will go back. Their fucking English friend will deal with them to their business interests. Don't be afraid of death. 200 Yoruba children are dying every day from sanitation-related diarrhea. 70 newborn babies die every day in Yorubaland. Over 25. There was a record that says 16, but we now have a new record that says over 25 mothers died every day in Yorubaland from childbirth. People are dying every day. So don't think that, oh, you are going to live forever. You are not going to live forever, but you must safeguard the interest of your children when you are no longer on this planet Earth. White people do that. Don't let the Fulani scare you. If we do nothing, they suppress us. Fulani has nothing. They control every wealth in Yoruba. That's why I'm wasting away. So I'm challenging the English. Come and make me the governor of your Bank of England so that we can know that the shit you are doing with Fulani, you can also do that as well. I'm challenging the English. Remove Theresa May and put a Scottish man or woman to be the Prime Minister of UK. You have always been producing the Prime Minister of UK, you English. It is because you have the majority of the population and you are the economic backbone. But you are so stupid and so irresponsible people that your government support Fulani minority to dominate the majority Yoruba. We Yoruba, we are the majority in Nigeria. We are the economic backbone of Nigeria. But your fucking stupid English politicians are supporting minority Fulani. We're going to deal with you in our space. We've had enough of you. But we are going to have a good, special, super special relationship with the United States of America. And with the backing of President Trump, we're going to get to the Goa Report. So look, folks, they are killing you. So when we call you have to kill them back in return, it is a revenge. If they are not killing you, tell Fulani to give up all these military bases for Yoruba to be in command and control of them. Tell the Fulani to give up. They have military bases in Hausa Fulani. Let them go and control it. Our people do not have jobs, but all the military bases across Yoruba and Fulani are the one controlling it. They tell you one Nigeria. Idiots. One Nigeria, I'm missing away in England with master's degree. I started my PhD more than 12 years ago. But I just dropped it because I have to look at the healthcare of my son. I couldn't concentrate. But I'm not interested in that. We acquire so much education as Yoruba people. Fulani minority are ruling over us. Criminally minded Igbo. They always support Fulani because they don't have wealth. Igbo want to take your wealth. The only way they can take your wealth is through unity system. And under this unity system, they must be second-class citizens to Fulani. They must be. So IPOP Nandikanu is winning the argument because we are still practicing unity system. They will stop their shit the day we go back to the regional government. The day we go back to regional government. So all of these military bases in Lagos alone, that is Lagos alone, we are still working on the one in Oyo State, the one in Osun State, the one in Ekiti State. Every goddamn thing being controlled by foreigners who are Fulani or Igbo. Why? To suppress you. So you have to kill these people. If you are killing them, you are revenging for what they have done to you. Let us throw this thing to the world. How can we have all these military bases in Yorubaland and our children do not have jobs, but foreigners who are Hausa Fulani are in charge and in command and in control of all these military bases when we have educated Yoruba? All these military bases are also in the north. It is still Hausa Fulani who are in charge. It is a means of suppression. I expect Young Yoruba to fucking blow up English businesses across Yorubaland. It is our space. There's nothing the English can do to me in their country. The only thing they will do to me, they will tell me to leave their country. I've written to CIA. I don't want to go to Nigeria because Fulani will put me in prison. Fulani control our police, they control our military, they control our prison, they control our custom, they control our immigration. What I'm doing, they don't like it. I'm waking up the Young Yoruba. They want to kill me. But we're smart. We're working with the United States of America. If you work with the United States of America, they will protect your interests, but it is not free. They will take something from you. So we are willing to give America 10% of our wealth. The Igbo and Hausa Fulani are the problem. If we do not deal with Igbo squarely in Yoruba, our life will remain miserable. Folks, believe me, our life will remain miserable. So here's the challenge. Think about it. Why must Hausa Fulani be in charge and command and control of all the military bases in Yorubaland? What are they using it for? Suppression. To suppress you. And you don't want to fight. And some people are saying they want power to do everything. To do the research, give you the information. To acquire the weapon, you want us to do everything. To then train people who are going to fight. We cannot do everything. We must have specialization. We are revealing the hidden truths to you. You roll with this information. You take action. Let us go and blow up Apapa Wharf. 6 trillion will go down the drain. Let us go and blow up Tinker Port. 4 trillion will go down the drain. Let us blow up Lagos International Airport. 50 billion will go down the drain. Let us bring down Lagos Stock Exchange. Over 1 trillion naira will go down the drain. Fulani control all of this. All of these military bases across Yorubaland. Let us blow them all. Fulani will return back to their space. They will go. And after that, in 10 years, we will be building them. When you have this construction going on, we're rebuilding the port, we're rebuilding the airport, we're rebuilding everything. Everybody will be fully employed. And we are going to bring in America to help us to rebuild this. And when they come, we are going to be indebted to them. And we're going to pay back our debt through the Fulani and their allies who will be using our port. And we will charge them heavily. Look, we have done the research. If Fulani say they don't want to import anything through the Yoruba port, they will go, because we are going to control Benin Republic and Togo. It is all extension of Yoruba. The place they can go is Ivory Coast. They travel from Ivory Coast, cross so many countries to get to Hausa Fulani land. It will still be expensive for them. So it will pay them to bring their goods through our waterways. You see, we're going to win this if the young Yoruba are determined. And let me say and round this up. To those of you who are blue, Oni of Ife is not talking, Alaafin is not talking, our politicians are not talking, idiot. Did Oni of Ife ask you not to get a gun? Has he ever addressed you and said, Yoruba, you please, so don't carry gun? Has he ever asked you not to go and blow up Apapa Wharf? You continue to talk about your leaders. Your leaders will not do anything unless you wake up and do. All these politicians that we have elected who are running after women, you will see how they are going to be pleading with you. Do something. Stop waiting for people. If we choose to wait for directive of the people, do you think we are going to be doing this since 2012? That we have been exposing all of this thing to you? You know how many attempts on my life? You think it's a joke? I cannot even post about my family anymore. You think it's a joke? What I'm doing for you, that you sit down and enjoy it. My mother, she's always naked every night praying for me. She goes to church. My wife is also praying for me. They are the ones who are scared, worried about what I'm doing. So we are risking a lot of things because we want a better future for our children. So we're asking you to take action. Don't be afraid. If you do not fight, they will suppress you. Look at the plans of the English and the Fulani to try and bring in Atiku. Because they know that if Buhari spend another 4 years, that will make it 8 years. Plus Yaradua 3.5 years. That is 11.5 years. There is no way, there's no how the Fulani can throw out any campaign that another Fulani will be president in 2023. So they are so concerned. So in order for them to shut Yoruba out, they want to bring Atiku through the Supreme Court. And when they bring Atiku and Igbo, they fucking suppress you, Yoruba. They control your military, they control your police, they control immigration, they control custom. You will never be able to step an inch into Yorubaland. You shall be killed. And that is why we are asking you how to kill these people back. Kill them now, particularly the Igbo, because the Igbo have always been supporting the Fulani to suppress the Yoruba nation. If we do nothing, our children's future will be bleak. It will be bleak. We'll continue to drag buses for English in London. We're doing care work for them. We'll do security guard. We'll do shit jobs. When you have so much money, think about it. Think about it. I have never seen 100 billion in my life before. I've never even seen 1 billion. Well, what are you talking about 100 billion? Have I ever seen 1 billion before in my life? I have never seen it. Look at what I'm doing for the Yoruba nation. And we get Oduduwa Republic, we get the minimum regional government, we control our port. And then the Yoruba nation says, grandson, good job. Take 10% of Thinkaport 4 trillion. That is 400 billion, 400 billion, 400 fucking billion. 400 billion, guys. 400 billion. Are you not shocked? Fulani has the money. Igbo are doing armed robbery, kidnapping. They have the money. We struggle for people to make donations so that we can buy weapons and we can do other things. People can donate because Yoruba don't have money. Yoruba don't have money. Fucking 400 billion. Can't you think about that? They gifted me 10% of Thinkaport revenue of 4 trillion. Fucking 400 billion. Big boy. But I'm wasting away in London. Shit job that we're doing. English are controlling all your life. Fulani control you. Igbo come to your space and control you. And you are so wealthy people. And you don't want to fight. Your children will live miserable life if you do not want to fight. I'll see you tomorrow.